Hi everybody, we're here with a general reading. Everybody is welcome. Before we get into it, let's set the intention for this to be a space where everyone allows themselves to feel seen and validated, and ultimately for this to be a safe space and a healing space in alignment with everyone's highest good. So I'm looking at the Two of Cups, the Ten of Pentacles, the Ace of Pentacles. There may be a fresh start that you're having. It can be a renewal. If it's a renewal, it could be something like this. Like maybe you hadn't gotten the chance to catch up with somebody, and then you get the chance to catch up with a friend, or there's somebody that you're connecting with and it feels meaningful. This can be you connecting with yourself as well. There may be things that you're doing for yourself, showing up for yourself. I'm hearing something about taking yourself out on a date. Maybe you're doing things for yourself as you would like a friend or somebody that you're close with. You could be treating yourself, something like that. King of Wands. Seven of Wands. I'm hearing juncture. I feel like that comes through every once in a while. Juncture. What I'm looking at is that you may be doing something but needing to do it very, very precisely. This King of Wands, I love this deck. This is called the Fountain Tarot for anybody that's curious, the Fountain Tarot. So this King of Wands in the deck, you see how it looks like they're kind of balancing. I'm seeing somebody doing a balancing act here. So there may be something that you're doing where it's like, okay, I'm the one responsible. I need to be the one to get this done. And at the same time, it's a delicate procedure. Seven of Wands, I'm seeing this as kind of being like dodging something. Maybe there's something controversial that you're doing, or you have to do it in a very particular way. It kind of reminds me of the energy of, because you may be the face of something, you could be the one that's being like criticized in some way because of how you're putting yourself out there, and you could be trying to do it in a delicate way where it's like, how do I make this as least controversial as possible while still getting the job done here? Or there could even be just particular things that you want to dodge or that you don't want to be a part of. It doesn't need to necessarily be a controversial space, but it can be like wanting to do something and again feeling like it's a delicate procedure and knowing that there's some sort of risk that you are taking by doing this. Like this Seven of Wands almost reminds me of, you know, in the movies when somebody needs to like break into a place, you have those little beams that go across that the like light, it's like those little red strings that go across of light that you don't want to walk across. See how this person is trying to like tiptoe their way around? It's like you don't want to set it off, but you're the one that has to do it. It's like, this is your job, this is the mission that you took, you're just trying to figure out the right way to do it. Getting the job done, not making a big mess while you're getting the job done, kind of like that. You can also try to be doing something and like not disrupt other areas of your life as well. Like, I want to do this and I also want to keep the balance over here for myself as well. Who is this? For some of you, this has to do with mood waves that you're feeling. Like sometimes you may be like up and getting things done, and sometimes you come back down. Riding the waves of the emotional experience. You may also be taking that into consideration too, like when I have more energy, I'm going to spend that to like really focus on what I want to focus on. Not all of us have the luxury of being able to do this like on a whim and whenever we want to. Some of us have more freedom than others, but you may be trying to get into a rhythm when possible of, when I feel like I have the energy, I'm going to make it useful, and then when I'm feeling like I have less energy, I'm going to take it easy then and not try to force it. I'm going to work with myself. And to also like not sometimes when we associate our value with like how much we're getting done, it can be hard for us to take a break because we connect our self-worth with how much we are producing or creating or making and things like that. And so this is also finding like the self-love to love yourself just as strongly, and to understand it's just as important when we're getting a job done and accomplishing something as when we are resting. Yeah. Especially when you feel overwhelmed or you have a lot going on. I'm seeing the Ten of Wands. You have a lot on your plate. You have a lot that you are responsible for. A lot that you are doing. And I'm seeing you also doing a lot on your own as well. Like a lot that you are carrying. The brunt of it on your shoulders. Okay, Two of Pentacles. I am hearing resources. Maybe prioritizing. I'm also hearing monetizing. Maybe prioritizing something with your resources. Maybe figuring something out financially. Maybe balancing resources in the midst of all of this. You could also be in a space where there could be something that you're planning for financially as well. Two of Coins is prioritizing, and this can be prioritizing anything within the 3D that you need to be managing. Strong yes to that. It can also be like, okay, if I want to buy this, I need to allot money here and there, and I need to save this. It can be things like that. Like sometimes it specifically has to do with money. Sometimes it's just generally about prioritizing things that need to get done physically for you. Maybe a couple different ways that you're balancing this. It seems like you have multiple things going on at once for sure. It definitely does feel like from beginning to end, this feels like a big balancing act. You prioritizing now is definitely the right move because I'm seeing that you are going to, I'm seeing that you are going exactly where you want to be going. Your trajectory is like that point there. No matter which way you do this, you stick with something that works for you, you stay consistent, and whichever path you choose, all paths lead home. You're going to get to where you want to go. And it seems like something needs to be figured out, and that's only going to be a temporary space of time where it's like, okay, I need to save for this, or I need to do that, or I have to allot my time in this way. And then I'm seeing something is really going to take off for you. Eight of Wands is like, we're moving forward. Nothing is going to get us off track. We know where we're going. We're going to end up there sooner or later. Sooner than later. Page of Swords means too, you could be like learning a lot at this time. A lot that you're engaging with, trying things out, experimenting. Ten of Cups, feeling very happy. It does seem like this is going to be an energetic and emotional goal just as much as it may be a physical one for you. Ten of Cups shows a sense of accomplishment. I'm seeing somebody even like running up the stairs and feeling like that's the end of where they needed to go to, and someone like lifting their hands up and being like, yes, I finally got here. This is it. This kind of looks even like a little trophy. It also reminds me of, I forget which movie it is in the beginning of it, which company it is, but there's, I think it's the Statue of Liberty maybe that's at the top. That's what this is reminding me of. Maybe you're doing something with pictures, movies. You could even feel like maybe what you're doing is I don't know, feeling surreal in a way. It seems like when you get to this endpoint, you're going to have a story to tell. Absolutely. High Priestess. So you are making moves intuitively. Whatever this is that you've been taking action with, I'm seeing there be so much wisdom and so much insight, and I'm seeing you be so connected. I'm getting like a very in touch, psychic even energy here when it comes to what it is that you're doing, how it is that you're making moves. Sometimes with the King of Wands, it can be like moving through off of instinct, and sometimes there's like a lack of being in touch. Can be with the fire energy, it can be like very excitable, but sometimes moving forward, and being like overconfident, it can be at times. But to have the High Priestess here, this is like I'm embracing my water energy and my fire, which is a great combination, because fire is like I'm gonna take action, I'm gonna get things done, I'm gonna go ahead with it. And to have the High Priestess here, this is this aspect of yourself that's like your higher knowing and your higher understanding, and this information that you get in that is informing the moves that you're making. It's kind of like an invisible map that only you have access to. And I'm seeing that's also helping you dodge particular things that would be, I'm hearing better left unsaid. High Priestess, King of Wands is somebody that it would be very easy to trust that person's leadership, because they are not only in touch with themselves and their visions, they are also in touch with the collective. They are in touch with energy. This is somebody very, very intuitive. Somebody that has a depth of empathy, absolutely. And a higher knowing, a wisdom, an understanding of what one is doing and also the implications of those actions. Really checking into. Ooh, Hanged Man. Maybe somebody has a bit of Neptune, Pisces. You may have a Moon Neptune aspect in your birth chart. High Priestess and the Hanged Man together, super, super psychic energy. This is like being in touch with invisible worlds, things of that nature. Being able to feel things out. You may have particular abilities too, like, what would we call them? Things like clairvoyance and stuff like that. Or just feel like really strongly in touch with your intuition. But definitely feeling very spiritually connected above all. Sometimes too, it may feel like having to accomplish the more menial tasks may be annoying to you at times, because it's like, I want to focus on this and I want to be in touch with like maybe the things up here that aren't connected with the physical world, or like it's less concerned with making like money and things like that and your stability. So sometimes when you like ground and you come back down, it's annoying, like, oh, I have to make my bed today, or I have to go to work, or I have to do whatever I'm doing. And it can be hard because it's like I can get in touch with all of this and now I have to come back down and do that. But the whole point of all of this is to synthesize a person that is the goal is to be able to simultaneously be on all planes, including the physical plane. simultaneously, rather than being able to be like up here but you're not down here, or you're down here and you're not up there, you know what I mean? So the goal is to be like everywhere, everything all at once, essentially. So it's just as important to be doing the 3D stuff as it is to be doing the 5D and the other things as well. But it may feel kind of stressful at times, like coming back down and being like, oh, here it goes, I have to deal with that, you know, I have to make my car payment on Wednesday, like all of this stuff, I have to make this appointment for that, I have to, like, go feed the kids, like, whatever this is for you. Take them to school, pick them up. And this is where our intention comes into play and is going to feel very important. We can see this as like, oh, I'm a victim to the universe and I have to do all of this stuff and it's so hard and I'm on my own and this isn't for me, like I should have reincarnated as a prince this time around, you know, this whole feeling that you have. Or you can look at it and see that you can make, I'm hearing a yogic expression out of anything and everything that you are doing. It reminds me of the talk where Ram Dass says, before your spiritual awakening, you chop wood and you carry water. And after your spiritual awakening, you chop wood and you carry water. The thing that changes is like your perspective of what it is that you're doing. And so we can take this, like, even though I can connect to these higher things and I feel like energy coming off of everything and whatever experience this is that you're having, and we can then use it and apply it to these menial tasks that you are getting done and do it in such a like loving way. Karma yoga. Clearing karma through service. Doing the work, showing up consistently. Okay, biggest things to be doing here. If there's something you're doing and you feel like, I'm hearing something about fancy footwork. I'm seeing this be connected with like where it is that you're stepping, how you're doing what you're doing. If something is feeling like really high pressure, like really high stakes, there may be a different way that you can look at it. It's something with the system going on where we may be able to zoom out and get a more clear, objective perspective of what this is that's going on. Also, we'll say this too. It does look like, again, you have a lot on your plate. You have a lot that's going on. You have a lot that you're balancing. You have a lot that you're managing. And you may kind of be like between two worlds trying to hold it all down. You are going to have the best luck going into this with an attitude that you find to be helpful for you. I want to get further. I need to see what's going on with these little cards down here. Here it is. Something seems like it got to be too much of a burden, and you could have gone back to maybe doing things how you were doing them before, or you could have changed your way is what I'm hearing. And then I'm seeing the Death card. Something bubbling up to the surface. Some of you are definitely feeling your third eye being cleared out, opening up. I will say this too, whether this be your energy with the Ten of Wands, Five of Swords, Knight of Wands, or this is somebody else's, it looks like there's an energy that you're seeing like every time that I invite this into my life or every time I act like this or do this, it brings more mayhem. Like every time I just do this impulsively and I'm just thinking about myself here and not thinking about the other people that this affects, or go into it with this attitude like I'm better than this situation or whatever it is, where there's like Five of Swords is seeing a separateness. It's like rather than like seeing that person next to you drop something and being like, okay, that's like me dropping something, I'm gonna help that person out and pick this up for them too. It's like seeing somebody and being like, oh, that's a them over there, like I'm not gonna help them out. That's what the Five of Swords is about. It's like feeling so separate that you see people as other to you, and that it's like me versus them or us versus them or whatever this is. And it can show up in very small moments. Like sometimes it's not drastic like that, but it can be like not being courteous to ourselves. It can be like being closed off. It's like somebody comes to you and they're very excited, and it can be like invalidating somebody or like not listening to them, things like that, thinking like our opinions are more important. Whatever this is, it comes from a space of like fear and ignorance, and being like, well, this person hurt me that one time, and so I'm gonna carry that with me, rather than like processing this fully. And so I do get the sense of this, like, I have all of this stress and it's mine, and just taking it on in a way where it's like, why is this happening to me? Again, I get that vibe of like, this is wrong, I should have been incarnated as a prince this lifetime around. Like that whole vibe, and maybe like acting out at times because it's like the stress is just too much to deal with. So it's like, are you binging something? Are you doing something that like when you wake up from the haze or like the bender or whatever this is, you're like, man, I wish I didn't like go that deep into it, whatever this is for you. But I'm seeing you get to a point where you're like, or inviting somebody particular into your life and being like, it always ends in the same way, like I don't want to be on this roller coaster with them anymore. Something is changing now. And it does seem like it's very much connected with yourself, and you being like, okay, well, I have access to the High Priestess now, and I feel like maybe there are areas of my life that I have not been applying it, that maybe I can now apply that to, because I have this thing now. I have this tool that I can utilize. So let me try to utilize it and really use it effectively and for everything that I can apply it to, rather than just some things, which means taking a cold, hard look at our lives and what it is that we're doing, which can be very difficult. Especially when our shadow is like, nope, don't shine that flashlight over here. I don't want you to see what I'm doing over here in this corner, you know? So you're getting to a point where you're like, even this hard stuff, even the self-pity, even this, even that, I'm going to shine a light on it and I'm going to see what I can do about it. Or this like lack of self-worth that I have, that I keep letting this person come back around. Whatever this is for you, there's a change now that's happening. I'm hearing and this feels explosive. I'm seeing this be in a good way. This is going to bring a lot more like peace into your life. While the Death card can feel like you're being ravaged in a really intense way, it's like an undertaking that's necessary to flip everything over and make sure there's no stone left unturned, and then we can finally move on because we have surrendered to the shedding and allowed that to take place. And that seems like perfectly in line with everything that's going on, because after we do that and it's like you come out in a bright new energy, we have the Fool here. And it's like this freedom that you feel, where you feel light and you feel that sense of joy and you feel like things are interesting again. You don't feel that sense of like apathy anymore, where it's like everything feels mundane and just medium, and I don't feel inspired, and everything's kind of coming in at the same level. This is you getting to a point where you feel inspired and you have new ideas and you feel connected, and it's like you want to live your life and you want to be there. But it's going to take doing this work in order to get out on this side where you feel renewed and refreshed and excited again. Feel connected with your inner child. But that is what's coming to fruition, I'm seeing. Yes, that is exactly where we're going. So I'm looking at the moon, Scorpio, Neptune. Do we have anyone else here? Could have Scorpio moon, Pisces moon, really can be anything. There can be like an activation of your moon, can be an activation of your Neptune, an activation of your Scorpio, Pluto energy. Anything like that. Something that this definitely feels like an activation that you are going through, where before you may have felt like, I don't know, you tripped and fell back into the matrix for a little bit, or you didn't realize you were in an area of your life. Because I'm seeing you be like, we're only half asleep here. Now we're like waking up more. It's like something that maybe you got used to the rhythm of and didn't realize that you sunk back into something. And now this is like, okay, we're opening back up again. I'm seeing definitely something being cleared out here for you. Okay, my friends, we are going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everybody for joining. Thank you for tuning in. I'm wishing everybody love and light and healing, and I hope to catch you guys next time.